I know last week we talked a lot about video games and Pokemon, Charterstone. I was actually going through my backlog of Switch games. So to recap, I've got about 26 Nintendo Switch games. Girl, that's a lot of cheddar. And like some of them you can't beat, right? Like you're never gonna beat Animal Crossing. You can't beat Super Smash Bros. Like those are just not beatable games. But I still have a backlog of The Witcher 3, which is fantastic, but is also a 200 plus hour game.
Oh,
I'm currently sitting at hour 50 something, so I'm only a quarter of the way through it. And I've been playing it since early February. So I've been playing it for months, and I had to put it down. But I have The Witcher 3. I have you ever heard of Xenoblade Chronicles?
yes.
Have you heard of Xenoblade?
Yeah. Like, wasn't that a game that came out when we were like 8 too? Like,
No.
Xenoblade is old, isn't it?
No.
But also
Xenoblade is, I think the earliest game was 2012. It used to be called, though, there's a similar series, like a spiritual predecessor called Xenosaga.
That's what I'm.
Yeah, it's the same like developers and stuff, but Xenoblade it's again a 100 plus hour RPG. I'm sitting at like 90 hours or something. So I have an insane amount of one player adventure games to get through, open world RPG adventure games to get through. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
thank goodness this lockdown got extended for another 2 weeks. Morbid. No. But I got a lot going on there. A lot's going on Switch. It's a wonderful system.
Speaking of a lot going on, welcome to the Full Volume Podcast.
Welcome. Hey.
We are your hoes, G.I. Jolie. Just getting that E real early.
Did you say hoes instead of hosts?
Oh.
We are your hoes.
I mean, Freudian slip.
Yeah.
G.I. Jolie and
Trailer Park Trash, Harvey Brent.
I'm not even gonna correct me.
Yeah, no.
I was like, do you know what? Spade a spade. I said what I said.
Honesty is important. I said what I said to Misha.
We've been watching Legendary lately when my new thing is like I love LaRoche and he's like, you did what had to be done. So I'm like yelling that at strangers.
I like that.
Did you pick that cucumber up off the ground in the Farm Boy today? You did what had to be done.
You have a Farm Boy in London?
Yeah.
Oh.
Right? London is full of all of these like American chains. Right? It's American, isn't it?
No, I don't think Farm Boy is. We have it up here in Kingston too.
Okay.
I think it's like an Ottawa-based chain, is it not?
Let's consult Google.
Take it to the Enterprises.
Take it to the runway. The Google. Farm Boy is Burlington in Brantford. No wait. There's 37 stores in Brantford and Burlington.
That doesn't sound right. No way.
That's a lot.
There's not even 37 Sobeys or Metros in that area.
Right. Okay, let me scroll all the way down and go to...
Oh, no, they have 37 stores in total, it looks like, possibly.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense. That makes more sense.
Yeah, okay, so where did they start? Oh, they don't want to tell us.
It's a secret.
The
Farm
About
Boy's
Us...
secret.
Yeah, is keeping it fresh. Okay, so that'll always be a mystery, apparently. Bet your Wikipedia knows.
Okay. And that's what I was looking at. It started its headquarters in Ottawa, but I don't know where the first store was.
Okay, well, I mean, that's fine. We don't need to know. We just need to know.
We just need to know.
Eventually.
We need to know that we don't know.
Yeah. We just need to know that they have strawberry margarita bread.
What? That's a thing?
Yeah. It was right in the doorway when I walked in. I went in there, admittedly, to get like apple cider vinegar, garlic. And we got all of these tomatoes last week. So I wanted to make Joe McLean, which is like, it's it's like a Laotian salsa, but it's spicy. And
Fun.
you dip your sticky rice in it, and you eat it with like
Oh,
fried meat or whatever it is that you're eating that came off the barbecue because it tastes the best with barbecue. So
nice.
when I jar it, I will send you a batch.
I would love that actually. I would be
Yeah.
very, very much into that idea.
You guys do spices, right? You guys can handle spicy?
Yeah, we're big spice people now.
Okay. What's your, I don't think I've ever known this. What's your favorite flavor of chicken wing?
Of chicken. I mean, you do know that. If you think about it hard, you do know that. Think.
Honey garlic?
You
The
got
honey
it.
girl? Yep, I do. All higgly piggly.
All my cheeser. Yep. You do know that. Come on.
Pick up Big Mamas in Windsor, Ontario.
Visit them, but only when you're like severely obliterated. Don't visit
Yeah.
them sober.
Yeah. Friday, Saturday,
Sunday,
2 a.m.,
Monday,
some Tuesdays. So
on
some,
occasion.
sometimes on occasion there is like a dance party on a Tuesday. Weird, but so do you know what? I remember going to a double A and there are 3 people there. Did I ever tell you this?
That's not right. That's not okay.
It was like there was a snowstorm too.
Mm.
And I was dancing and 2 guys from the newspaper were dancing. And I think Tom was behind the bar. There might have been like the usuals. But like I uh, Steve had just gone out of town, I think.
Okay.
And then I think you had also gone out of town. Yeah,
Those
and
were those were dark days.
and that's why I was like, why would I have been there without them? Oh, this must have been when you went out east.
Yeah, I used to live out east. Yeah.
And it was I remember the snow because you sent me a picture of your car and it was just a pile of snow.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened.
Okay.
I left it in there for a month. I didn't touch my car for a month. It just sat buried in snow. I couldn't get it.
Yeah. Does that like what does that do to a car? Does that do anything to a car?
I don't know because I got in a very bad car accident shortly after that and it totaled the car. So I never had to worry about it again. It's
Oh.
the small victories in life.
Tell me,
Anyways.
did we do introductions? No.
Yeah, we did. We call each other hoes.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
there. We're
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, well, we should talk about Drag Race today.
Yes.
Drag Race Down
Because
Under, to be specific.
yeah, because there have been I mean, there's been a void ever since Drag Race ended and Drag Race UK ended.
I was gonna say, let's be real. There's been a void since Drag Race UK ended. Drag Race US, it's good. Don't get me wrong. I personally think the 13th season of US Drag Race has the best runway song out of any of the seasons, but that's just me. Um, but I was very excited for Drag Race season 13 US to be over because it was long. It was 17 weeks.
Right?
That's
It
that's like
was
that's like a season of our favorite shitty teen drama, Riverdale.
I don't think I finished that.
I purposely save up on Riverdale. I don't watch it and then I just binge the hell out of it,
Okay.
for 2 weeks. That's my
Yeah.
favorite thing to do.
Okay. I think that's the point that I'm at where it's like I have the last 3 episodes, like you're done it.
No, no, I
Oh,
literally watched like 2 episodes of season 5. So I'm like way behind.
no, I think that we might be at the same spot. How many? Yeah, do you know what? I haven't even opened Netflix to be honest.
Well, everybody's about the Disney Plus these days.
Yeah, I mean, so were we, but Disney
Yeah,
Plus ain't giving us anything new.
not till June 9th. No.
No. Have I been watching anything on Disney Plus other than Marvel television shows? Oh my God, other than catching up on the Avengers? No.
You
I
need
have been
to
watching. Oh,
I was gonna say you need to get back on the Netty because they released a new show. I think we might have talked about this in private before. Frank Miller, I think, is involved. It's called Jupiter's
Jupiter's
Legacy.
Legacy.
It's not bad. It's better than the reviews are saying.
Okay, because I
Yeah.
a lot of the comic book Twitter is like, what is this?
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't read the comics, so I'm saying this just from a pure audience perspective, I did not hate the first episode.
Okay, well, I have the issues. I've read them. I think the complaints, not the complaints, but the uh reviews or the criticisms were more about the art direction in
Oh.
insofar as like the facial hair for some of the characters was really weird and maybe the costumes. But I can look past that. Like if it looks hokey potatoes, I'm okay. I'll still watch it. I like the books, so
Hmm.
yeah. I really want to see Mark Miller's Magic Order though, because the first scene in that book is a murder. And I was really hoping that ever since I saw Mark Miller at Chicago Comic Con C2E2, it was like 3 years ago now. The Comic Book Syndicate made our not so glorious return because we'd been away so long, no one remembered us. Um, but it was nice to just kind of be faceless in the media crowd because it was such a crazy time. Like Shia LaBeouf was there, and he was like, he did like a pop-up table, and a friend of ours was sitting beside him,
Did he
and I was
cuss
like,
anyone out?
no, he was very kind. He gave me his email, and um,
You have Shia
to
LaBeouf's email?
yeah, to because he was there to promote a comic book that he ended up stealing. That's the news. That's the tea, sis.
Oh
Um,
God.
apparently the comic book he started to get, it was his art phase. So before he had made
It was during those 2 weeks? Sorry.
prior to.
The shady. The shadiness.
Wow, someone is coming for him hard. Um, that's fine. I like a little good competition. I mean, not that he has any. Gross. So anyway, he gave me his email to give to Brian at my friend Brian, who that then owned like Detroit Comics,
Yeah.
so he could get his book into the store there because he was looking for a way. He pretty much did a pop up. He saw an empty table. My friend Johnny Desjardins at the time was illustrating like was it the Phantom for Dynamite? He was sitting at he sitting next to Johnny. He just there was an empty table, so him and his girlfriend came, put their things down. I noticed him because he had a hat on that said Laos and I'm Laotian. And I was like, oh, sweet
Mm.
hat. Holy fuck, it's Shia LaBeouf. And
Wow.
yeah. Um, but that's C2E2. There was all kinds of people like that. Have you ever been to Motor City Comic Con in Michigan?
I haven't been to the Comic Con, no, but I've been to Motor City Comics.
So it was kind of like that where celebrities just walk around because it was like more about comics. They
Oh.
didn't like it was like they walked around and they shopped. So it wasn't like an anomaly to see somebody like Shia LaBeouf sit down at a
Hmm.
table and start talking. I mean, like he got swamped immediately after he like passed me his email address and all that shit. But like I would say that's like crazy. It's funny because like my favorite part of the whole thing was that we discovered I had just watched Red Letter Media's Star Wars Phantom Menace review. You know that huge like six-parter where he plays he's voiced by a grumpy old man sounding character.
Yeah,
Those guys exist in real life. They're like from Ohio.
of course.
Yeah. And I walk up to the booth and I said, "Are you Mike? Are you Mike?" Because his name is Mike as well. And he's like, "No, but he'll be back soon." And I think the guy who was like, "No, I'm not Mike Stacklasa," was or is, I should say, the guy who he does the show with, the Half in the Bag show with, who looks like Mike L. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Like that was the highlight of my weekend. One, meeting Gail Simone. Two, meeting Jill Thompson. Oh my God. I was so scared of Jill Thompson. I didn't know what to say. Like fangirl for the art. Where were we?
I thought
Jupiter's
we were
Legacy.
talking about. Yeah, I was like, wait. But I thought we were talking about Drag Race. That was a serious tangent. That was a
Tan gent.
gent. Yeah. Tangent. Um, that was a deep one. I thought we were talking about Drag Race. I don't know how we got on the topic of Jupiter's Legacy.
We are. Okay, back to oh, it went Riverdale. No, it went
Yeah,
Netflix.
it was.
Fuck.
You're right.
Let's go back. Drag Race. Okay. So let's talk about Australia. We currently are
Us.
2 episodes in because we're a little
Yeah.
bit behind, but that's okay. Uh
We're
they did
behind as of like 30 minutes ago. They just released episode 3 30 minutes ago. So we're okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Um
Okay. So
Match Game second episode.
yikes. That
Holy.
was well, okay, but overarching, first of all,
Okay.
Drag Race Down Under, I am not, the vibes are not there for me personally.
Mm-mm.
I don't. Okay, first of all, it has, I said season 13 of the US had the best runway song. The Drag Race Down Under has the worst runway song ever. Hate it. It's the worst. The production value is not there. Rue looks bored. Michelle looks tired. And Rue's makeup is not there. The cinematography is not there. The set
No.
is not there. It's just everything is just off. And I'm thinking just maybe because it's a smaller budget production company, like it's filmed in New Zealand. Keep in
Yeah.
mind, it was filmed in COVID during COVID in New Zealand because New Zealand, as we know, is the only country that had their shit together. Um, so that's where they filmed it there. But I don't think the budget is there, and so it feels like season one of American Drag Race. Like it's yucky.
And there's 8 episodes. I'm just reading now that there's only going to be 8 episodes. So maybe that's why they're fast forwarding a little bit. I think that we had talked about it before, but I had said to Harvey Brent that I wasn't sure about some of the queens that we were seeing. And what again, I'm not familiar because the world of drag and runway and ballroom is all very newish to me. I'm still a baby. But is some of American drag informed by pageantry? Yes.
Yes.
So then what is Australian drag informed by? Is it informed by North American drag? Like, is it, you know what I mean, a byproduct?
It's a
Or,
derivative.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's also the issue with Canada's Drag Race too. I think it's both Drag Race Down Under and Canada's Drag Race is derivative of American Drag Race. And so there's a lack of, I don't want to say authenticity, but a
Mhm.
lack of like it's not ingrained into our culture as much as it is into American culture.
Yeah, so there is an outsider element that is inherent, that is coming through with this cast, and there always will be because this will always be an outsider sport.
Love
Let's
it.
just yeah. Um, but it's like you brought up Canada, so let's use that example. So Drag Race Canada, just like, and I think is a derivative. It's informed by its American counterpart, much like but I sorry. I was gonna say much like music, but that would have caused another tangent. So like Big Brother and uh Drag Race, they are both informed by their American counterparts, but to me have something very specifically Canadian about them. Whereas uh, Australia doesn't have anything particularly Australian about it, other than the fact that there's Australians in the show. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
like we don't have like in Canada's Drag Race, we had like the denim challenge and whatnot. I'm trying to see where they're going with this. Granted, we're only 2 episodes in, so like maybe we should
Yeah.
give it a break. But
Mhm.
like, yeah, there's some sort of way that you have to make something about their country, you know, editorialized, like, an editorialized what, like crocodile hunter costume. Like where are you going with this, So you're right. Like hopefully it lets us learn more about Australian culture if they do reveal more, but I do worry that there's not enough to pad out the season. Like the runway for episode 2 was sea sickening, and it's like, which is hilarious of a name, but like so many countries border an ocean or a sea. So like You know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
like, eh,
Yeah, and
eh.
like oh, I get it. One of your like Reese Nicholson, he's an Australian comedian, but outside of Down Under, I don't know who he is, or I'm not familiar with him. Um, so like Canada's Drag Race had an all Canadian judging cast, right? So
Yeah.
while I would have loved to see Rue on the panel or Michelle a little bit more, I don't know. Um, there was something about Stacy and Brooklyn that just
I
it,
love them. It
yeah,
works.
I don't want Rue to be a judge.
Yeah, me neither.
I just want them. And like Jeffrey Boyer Chapman, I'm sad that he's not going to be in season 2, but I loved him in season 1. And
Oh, I get it.
Canadian Twitter dragged his shit all over the internet, like
Uh,
because he was they interpreted him as nasty. He seemed kind of dour.
it could be the way that the producers edited it. I don't know, but I don't know, like his confrontations with Jimbo and stuff. And I was like,
Oh,
you're coming for the fan favorite. This isn't going to go over well for you. And you know, I read an interesting take once that said like, I feel like Jeffrey wouldn't have been getting this amount of shit from people if he had done this like 10 seasons in. It's like the first season he's judged. It's like, it's almost like, what do you know about Drag Race? You know, like you've guest judged a couple times at Rue in the American one, but like
mhm.
Rue has Rue and Michelle have the platform and they have the experience to be bitchy and make those cutting comments. Jeffrey doesn't, you
Yeah,
know?
and like Stacy comes from fashion.
Yeah.
So and Brooklyn is a drag queen. So
Yeah.
that's where you kind of get it gets messy. Like I get why they wanted to have him as the third host. He's gorgeous.
And he's Canadian.
He's Canadian. He's in the
Yeah.
community, but again, he should have maybe I get it. I agree with you. Maybe he could have checked himself a little bit.
And then again, too, like we don't know how the editing was for it. Like, who knows? And not to
He gets
mention,
yeah.
Canada's Drag Race eliminated Juice Box first, which is not okay.
No, we're here for juice. That was harsh. That
Yeah.
runway though, I can't believe they did a sewing challenge the first challenge. But I mean, if you put that up against Rita Vega's, like she made a freaking coat out of a sleeping bag.
Rita Vega did? Or do you
Didn't
mean
she
Utica?
make like a
You
puffy
mean
coat?
Oh, I was thinking Utica in the American one with the sleeping bag couture.
Oh no, yeah. Um, it reminds me of Rita Vega's like puffy coat.
Mm.
Um, in the Canadian challenge. No, maybe that wasn't the first one. You know what? When you put up the sewing challenge against the other girls, it wasn't as great, but that I don't think that she lost that lip sync.
Yeah, you know what? I've watched it the other day and I agree with you. I don't think Juicebox should have lost that lip sync. I hope they pull a Vanjie with her and let her come back for another season, like they did with like Shangela and Vanjie, where they were the first out in their original seasons, and then they came back for the
Hmm.
next season. Because I feel like we barely scratched the surface with Juicebox.
Yes.
Also, we're partial to our Windsor Essex queens, so
Yeah.
we have
And
to love.
fellow University of Windsor alum.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But
Yes. So Juice has been streaming on Twitch
yeah,
under Juicebox Queen. So have a look, subscribe. My
definitely
God.
subscribe to Juicebox's channel. Yeah, she
Yeah.
is, or I should say she. So I guess I don't know how Juicebox identifies out of drag. I apologize. But Juicebox is super entertaining on Twitch. If you like Kingdom Hearts, if you like Pokemon, if you like Dead by Daylight, they stream that. So and Juicebox is really fun to interact with.
Yes. I remember I'll just call her JP. That's how I know her.
Yeah.
Uh, being one of the most effervescent, funny people. Like, you know how when you go to school or when you attend class and you're just like having a shitty ass day and
Mhm.
like the sky is gray and everyone else is shitty, even when they were in a bad mood, they were in a good mood. They were in the best mood. And he never let anything kind of, even when he was like fucking mad, he was happy, and it lifted my spirits because art school was crap.
Hmm.
And apparently I got in on the Twitch stream just as they were wrapping up their conversation about art school. Yeah, because he was like, "Are you? Oh my God, is this the GI Jolie that I went to art school with? Whole Jolie?" I was like, "Yes, it's
Yeah.
me." And then I immediately hit subscribe.
Yeah. No, Juice Box is great. So I hope we see more of Juice.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see more of Kingdom Hearts too because that game was a
Yeah.
trip.
I love Kingdom Hearts. I
Oh
also
my,
have the board game. Did I tell you that?
there's a board game.
There's a board game of Kingdom Hearts. It's not bad. It has really like it's been like review bombed online on like famous board game websites. It's not terrible. It's I don't know if you've ever heard of the board game from the 80s called Talisman. Um,
Yeah,
it's a reskin of Talisman. So it's Talisman, but it's everything's reskinned as Kingdom Hearts with a few extra mechanics added into it. It's good. There's some like errors though, so like you have to like go on Reddit and like oh the developers meant this and stuff. But it's a nice board game.
okay, cool. I'm into it. I
Yeah.
just learned about Talisman because I'm in our board games on Reddit, and someone was like, "Remember this game?" But it was like on the tip of their tongue.
Hmm.
Um, they just couldn't remember. They just couldn't remember what the game was, and someone's like, "That's Talisman." I was like, "Talisman? What is this? Sounds like witchcraft." And then I was like, Google, Google, Google. Before you know it, it's 3 a.m. and I am watching people play Talisman on YouTube. Anyway,
Drag
RuPaul's
Race
Drag
Down
Race
Under.
Down Under.
Oh man, we're never gonna get
Tan
this.
Jean de.
Okay, so getting up to speed, we've talked about overarching some concerns about Drag Race Down Under. Let's talk about specific episodes. Episode 2, I was gagged that Art Simone was eliminated.
Really?
Gagatrondra. I was gagged. I thought from the first episode that Art Simone was gonna go far,
I
but
think everyone else did too, like including the cast.
yeah, they were all gagged too. They were shook in the bag. And like her
Yeah.
reaction to getting eliminated, it haunts me.
Right? But here is okay. Ours okay. I feel like that remember how we were talking earlier about how there this maybe drag, maybe we don't know. We're just speculating really. Maybe drag in Australia and New Zealand because there's some New Zealand cast because of where they're
Yep.
filming.
Yep.
Maybe perhaps it is informed by North America, but having said that, there's got to also be uh history, right? So here's the thing. Apparently, there's another drag show in Australia that's produced by Warner Brothers, and it's hosted by two of the contestants, Anita Wiglet
Ketamine.
and Kitamine. Yeah, they are both the hosts. So it's like, of course,
Oh, you're talking about House of Drag.
that's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. So it's like, what other history in drag do we not know about that's across the world pond?
Hmm.
Ocean? Yeah, at this point, it's not a pond; it's an ocean.
Yeah.
So, I thought maybe that they were so shocked because they all knew, like in the drag community, that like Joe Black was in Drag Race UK, that they were like prolific,
Hmm.
like Tina Burner.
Tina Burner's not prolific. Sorry.
They have a history. Excuse me.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Gotcha.
Um, so yeah, so that maybe they have a history, or like BB Zahara. When BB Zahara came back, they thought maybe, well, she's like the first drag queen in the world. Like, why wouldn't she win? Well, here's the thing: you still gotta lip sync for your life, and
Hmm.
when you don't have it, well, when you don't have it, you don't have it. But that lip sync was not. It was like underwhelming on both of their
Also,
accounts.
how can you have Kylie Minogue guest star and not lip sync to a Kylie Minogue song? Like
Right?
what? What universe am I living in? Like, excuse me?
Yeah, it's like, could you not get the rights? I don't understand.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't know how I don't know how the licensing works. But maybe that's it. But she's sitting right there. I don't know.
She was sitting there virtually, but yeah, like it
Well,
was, yeah, you get it. But I mean, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. The vibes are off. I'm
mm.
obviously I'm gonna finish it because I like Drag Race, but it's not as good as UK Drag Race. I don't even think actually so far it's as good as Canada's Drag Race. I think Canada's Drag Race is better,
Mm.
but we shall see.
We shall see. Who are you? I see. That's the thing. I can't even ask because I don't even know whose corner I'm in.
I
I really am
guess
not feeling a connection to anybody.
I guess I enjoy the hokey style of Karen from Finance. I guess. But you're right. I'm not like love, but you know, it usually takes a few episodes for me to like really latch onto someone anyways. But I guess if I had to pick someone, it'd be Karen.
Right? It's true. Because just like UK, like I didn't, I honestly thought Bimini was going home.
Yeah, me too. I didn't fall in love with Bimini until after they came back from COVID.
No, that's crazy too, is that they had the chance to kind of redeem themselves in a way that no one has ever been able to before, which is
Yeah.
really fortunate for them because they came back fierce. Bimini was like, um, was exactly what she says she was, like a cross between Marilyn Monroe, but wet Pamela Anderson. Mostly just a wet Pamela Anderson, but like they had more Marilyn Monroe when they came back. So
Yeah.
it was kind of nice to see that emerge. Those nipples of the face emerge. So
Love her.
yeah, I
Love
love her.
her.
Really thought she should have won, but I'm
I
not
do
angry.
too.
Not angry that Lawrence Chaney won either. So yeah. Sorry, my allergies are just going nuts. We have all the windows open now that it's like warm out and oh, I'm dying. Excuse me.
Whew. Well, I mean, do we have anything else to cover from Drag Race Down Under? Like,
I
there's not a lot to talk about yet. Like, I guess we
know.
just we have to put a pin on it for that sake and just acknowledge that we're going to move forward and keep our eye on it. But
Yeah.
so far, I'm not loving it.
We're not loving it, but we're watching.
Yeah.
Um so I mean, let us know who your favorites are.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not our favorites. Maybe you do too love Karen from Finance. What's your drag name? If you were to have a drag name, what would your drag name be? Let
I
us
have
know. Oh, okay.
I have many. I have scoliosis. Um I got a few. I've got oh gosh, what was the other one I just thought of there that was really Iron Maiden.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
it's for my strong grip. So I've got names. Do you have any drag names?
Elizabeth Bathory
Oh, that's a good one.
from my love of bathing in the blood of virgins,
Been there.
right?
Mhm.
It gets messy, but I do what needs to be done,
Minerals, baby. Minerals on the
right?
skinnies.
Uh-huh. Um, though I really, there have been some days though, some nights rather, where I do actually wonder if the fact that they're a virgin makes a difference.
I know, right?
But I have not had to cross that bridge yet.
Give me a well-fed whore over a virgin any day.
Yeah, maybe the blood is more supple. I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly.
We're
Sorry,
gonna get we're gonna get shadow banned for our murder podcast. Um,
sorry, I
wait,
totally cut off your sign off there.
it's okay. Oh yes. So if you have a drag name that you prefer we read out on the air, because we will do it if you send it to us,
We
you can
will.
send it to us with all your great mail at fullvolumepod@gmail.com, or you can tweet at us, or you can like maybe Instagram DM and we might see it. Um, because to be honest, slipping into DMs on Instagram is still weird for me.
Mhm.
And I will not, if you are a stranger, I will not reply to a messenger message.
Unless you're hot.
And even then.
Oh, I would.
Oh
I'd what?
yeah?
Well, I get to see what they're all about. Like, oh my God, who is this
Oh.
mysterious stranger saying hi?
Hmm. I'll have to rethink my tactics then, because
Yeah.
I'm just like a bog witch, and I prefer to be alone in the woods.
I just killed a few of those in The Witcher, actually, bringing it full circle.
Really? Yeah. Killed them?
I had to.
That's fine.
They were keeping children captive.
Oh, see, I mean, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah, leave the children out of this.
Virgins, yes. White goats, yes. Children, don't mess
No.
with them. Never, ever mess with children and pets.
Mm.
You can catch us at www.comicbooksyndicate.com. You can listen to all of our episodes or watch the video versions of those episodes there and on YouTube at Comic Book Syndicate or at Comic Syndicate hashtag Full Volume Pod. Until next-ish week, I have been your host, Jojo Lee.
And I'm Harvey Brent.
So keep it loud.
Keep it at full volume.
Bye.
Bye.